Hiya, Martyn from Lacquer Resin here. Today we're at episode 13 of making a resin guitar, and we've now got our neck beautifully stained and sanded down and ready to go. We've cast the resin, we've secured it into the wood, that's all been sanded. So now we need to start talking about applying the final coat of finish. Well, in this case it's going to be about 8 coats of finish. Ordinarily, a guitar is normally finished with something called nitrocellulose, which is a solvent spray that's a lacquer, and you need some skills to be able to use it. Too little and it doesn't bind properly, too much and it blooms on the surface and turns cloudy. Probably not best for me to use something like that for my first effort. So instead, I'm going to go with this. This is called 2K lacquer. In other words, it's clear coat, the stuff that goes on top of a car's bodywork when the paint's been applied. It's easier to work with, it's more forgiving, and if used sparingly will produce an extremely hard wearing finish. Certainly hard wearing enough for use on a guitar, if it can be used on car bodywork as well. Preparation's the key. So the first thing we need to do is just give the body a final wipe down with isopropyl alcohol, just to get rid of any dust or any remaining grease marks before we get cracking. Another thing today, we're going to have to be extremely cautious. 2K is very volatile. I'll be doing the spray outside and then hanging the parts on my custom jig made from coat hangers inside to flash and cure and harden off. But wearing a respirator even outside is an absolute must working with these chemicals. Okay, let's go. Okay, let's let that dry off and let's get outside and set up for spraying. That's better. So the idea today is to get 2 base coats on, really thin layers, really just to seal the wood, if nothing else. As you can see, it's hanging behind me to dry. I'll leave it to dry for 30 minutes or so. Then I'll apply a second coat, and then after the second coat, I'm going to let it flash and cure off overnight before tomorrow I start building the layers. Unfortunately, it's a bit blowy out there today, so I found that I needed to hold the spray a bit close to the pieces than I actually wanted. If you're an expert in spraying clear coat, perhaps shout out in the comments below what you can do to avoid that, other than perhaps set up a spray tent outside or something. I know. Anyway, let's leave it until tomorrow and see how it looks then.